Get the community involved. Advocates, neighbors, and local law enforcement should all be a part of the effort to raise awareness of this danger. One way to communicate a plan and get the message out to communities and neighbors is to contact neighbor watch committees and designate a time to meet and discuss the issue. Invite local law enforcement and other community advocates so that you can suggest posting warning signs, letters, and other public relations dealings and procedures. Just the other day, oh Lord, I said that again. This is a local effort to work together to try and change the behaviors of drivers in the community while aiming toward a more global effect. In a recent article from Oprah.com, the End Distracted Driving campaign, Oprah stated, "If you think you can call, text, and drive at the same time, you cannot. That message you can't wait to send could kill. Distracted driving is an epidemic that is sweeping through our nation, claiming lives and destroying families. Some other national figures are putting forth effort to bring national awareness and change to this dangerous issue, such as President Obama. President Obama signed an executive order banning texting while driving on federal business. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood is pushing for tougher laws and more enforcement. States are passing laws too. Local groups are gaining strength, spurred by too many deaths close to home." The third main point that we're going to discuss is educating those around us, including children, of the dangers of cell phone use while driving. One of the most important aspects in taking responsibility and working in collaboration with the community is to start educating within our own homes first. It is important for us to instill in our children the importance of being a safe driver. This is important because one day they will grow up and be drivers too, and they will already be knowledgeable of the dangers associated with the dangers of using cell phones while driving. Cell phones are a very popular commodity among children of all ages. They're gaming, they're watching TV on them, and all sorts of things. In an article called "Addressing the Problem of Distracted Driving" by John Yusovic, the Group Vice President of Research, Communication, and Advocacy, National Safety Council, addressed the issue of distracted driving before a subcommittee on highways and transit committee on transportation and infrastructures in the United States House of Representatives. "We believe cell phone use is the largest cause of motor vehicle crashes because of the risk and the number of people using cell phones while driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reported that distracted driving was involved in nearly 6,000 traffic deaths last year and more than 500,000 injuries. Our analysis suggests cell phone conversations are the single largest contributor to those injuries and deaths. Today, more than 90% of Americans acknowledge in public opinion polls that they know that talking on the phone while driving is risky, yet 80% of them admit doing it. People are aware of the risks of cell phone use while driving, yet they are choosing to do it anyway. Making more people aware of the risks will not change their behavior. Educating is important, for sure, but there is no evidence that asking risk takers to change their own risky behavior has ever had much of an effect. Years of traffic safety education programs have taught us the unfortunate saying that education by itself does not change behavior. The most effective education to change behavior is education about enforcement. Click it or ticket. Drunk driving. Over the limit, under arrest. We all know those sayings, right? They are research-based educational messages tied to the enforcement of specific laws. These kinds of educational messages tied to enforcement of laws do work in changing behavior. So, how best do we address the issue and make change in our community? What can we do to take responsibility? We know from our daily experiences working with individuals with different opinions and perspectives, that changing their behaviors of public requires leadership, a lot of research, legislation, and also law enforcement. If we could simply educate our way out of this problem, However, the knowledge we have of how to change human behaviors suggests otherwise. We can't just educate out of the problem. It's going to take a lot more. Solutions. What can we do? We can be proactive. Do all that you can to ensure that you're doing everything you're supposed to do and being a role model. Be effective in your efforts. Work in collaboration with local officials and community advocates in getting the communication out to the public, your neighbors and friends. Get warning signs posted along our streets and alley driveways. Educate all the community and groups, including children, of the dangers. Using cell phones while driving has become part of our culture. Changing this part of our culture will not be easy. It will take a lot of leadership, education, and legislation, and visible law enforcement. But it must be done. There is no phone call, email, or text message worth taking a life. The next time you're driving, you do not have a handheld device, and your phone is ringing, what will you do? Will you stop to answer it just for a second? Will you look back to find the cell phone just to turn around to see that you hit something? Was it a tree? Was it a car? Was it a kid on the sidewalk? Maybe your kid? Thank you.